And Young takes ball 4 inside with a cutter. But Tong just doesn't look like himself today. He loads the bases after a double and a couple walks, and you have to think, an hour rain delay can really throw a pitcher off, and that seems to be why A.J. Sager, the pitching coach, is going to go out to the mound and have a chat with him. Just the third start at this level for Jonah Tong. With the bases loaded, he's going to face Eduardo Valencia, one of the Tigers' top 30 prospects, who ripped the cover off the ball last season. Hit over 300 with 24 homers and 94 RBIs. This year, he's off to a slow start, just 1 for 21 at the plate.
He's posted great numbers at practically every level. Hit 304 last year in Erie, 319 in his appearances with Toledo.
First pitch to Valencia. Fastball taken for a called strike. And noticeably, you see the velocity a couple ticks down for Jonah Tong. He was sitting 94 to maybe 96 last year. Fastball is coming in between 91 and 93 today. 0-1 pitch. It's ripped down the left field line, but it hooks foul. Funny how that works after a little mound visit. Walk 2 guys in a row, and then all of a sudden you're up 0-2 in the count.
It was cool to get A.J. Sager's perspective on that in our Visit Syracuse pregame show about what he says to pitchers when he goes out on the mound. Tries to change it up every time.
He's the right guy for it. He's got such a good presence. 0-2 pitch is cracked foul, right field side.
The thing that stuck with me is he said, I never ask the pitcher, why am I out here? Because they all know why I'm out there. So he tries to crack a joke or tries to get the focus back on the next hitter, how they're going to attack that.
0-2 pitch. Valencia swings and misses through a fastball. Hardest one of the day for Tong at 95 miles an hour. Out number 2 in the first.
So to get his 3 strikes, he goes fastball to the changeup that he's been working on, to a fastball again, just changing up Valencia's timing at the plate. That's a huge second out here in the first.
And it's funny, AJ says, I don't ask him why I'm on the mound. That's like getting called into the principal's office, and they're like, you know why? Do you know why you're here?
No,
it's like, you tell me.
I've never had that experience before. You might be able to talk on that.
Bases loaded for Corey Julks, who swings through a fastball 0-1. Well, since AJ went out there, he's thrown 4 strikes in a row. A 1 pitch. Julks takes a fastball off the edge of the plate. It's a called strike. Really nice pitch to paint the corner. Can he strand? The bases loaded. It's an 0-2 count with 2 outs. No score in the top of the first. Tong winds up and throws. Fastball just a hair outside. Tong nods his head saying, okay, all right, I see. Thought I was going to get the call. Maybe not this time.
And that ball seemed a little bit outside, so a nice job to not challenge it.
1-2 pitch, and Julks rips it fair down the third baseline all the way into left field. Clark scores, Cruz scores, and Young's coming in as well. Clifford reels it in all the way deep into the corner. It's a bases-clearing double for Corey Julks. Just the first runs allowed by Jonah Tong at the AAA level. It's 3-0 Toledo.
A changeup left on the inner half. Julks just got his hands out in front of it. That feels like the right pitch to go inside with a changeup and to get the hands going soon, but Julks sniffed it out. There was a lot of space between third base and the line, and he found that little corner, 330 down the line. Everyone came in.
Julks at second, 3-0 Toledo. 2 outs, top of the first. The pitch. Bounce down the first baseline. Arroyo charges in, fields with 2 hands, taps the bag with his left foot, and ends the inning. Well, one big swing by Corey Julks puts the Med. Salmon's the 30-year-old left-hander from Wilmington, North Carolina. Drafted in the 8th round back in 2017 by the Minnesota Twins. 1-0 pitch. Melendez lifts it in the air down the right field line, and he hooked it foul, landing on the grass berm right in the right field area. Salmon's pitching in his second game of the season. Made his debut over the weekend with 4 2/3, allowing just 1 earned run. 1-1 pitch. Melendez waves and misses through a sweeper. Down in the count 1-2. MJ Melendez, formerly a second-round pick in 2017 by the Kansas City Royals, was in the Kansas City organization up until last season. He's played 435 games in the big leagues. Pretty much a full-time starter for the Royals for about 3 years. 1-2 pitch. Melendez pokes one foul.
And he swung a pretty good bat at the minor league level. Still trying to get that figured out at the major league level. He's only 5 for 60 in his career in the majors.
He's got a lot of power. He led all minor league baseball with 41 homers in 2021. And he's still just 26 years old. 1-2 pitch, popped foul behind. Yeah, off to somewhat of a slow start, just 1 for 9. The one hit being a hard hit double the other day. Struck out 3 times and walked twice. Morabito leads off of second. Couple of jumps, now the 1-2. Hit softly towards first. It's caught by Burt. He throws to second and doubles him off. It was a softly hit line drive straight to the first baseman, Max Burt. Nick Morabito made his first couple steps towards third base, so Burt made an easy throw to second, and there's 2 away.
Yeah, Morabito just started going to third base on the soft liner. They teach you in Little League to freeze on any line drives, but Morabito was inching his way towards third. Easy play for an excellent defender in Max Burt to play.
Ground ball hit to first, backhand stop. Burt flips it to the pitcher. Salmon's covering for out number 3 to retire Ronnie Mauricio. Toledo 3, Syracuse nothing.
Be sure to go check them out if you're 21 or older on the concourse. We're selling those. It's Sun Cruiser here at historic MBT Bank Stadium.
Shoulder. 2-2. Taking called strike 3. Fastball painting the corner, but Malgiri's challenging. All eyes on the left center field scoreboard, and Malgiri is not going to like what he sees.
The call is confirmed.
That's called strike
Toledo
3 on Ben
challenge
Malgiri.
remaining.
We go down to the field with Brendan Miller for our Chick-fil-A check-in.
Right, talking a little bit about Jonah Tong, and this guy who is probably going to be one of the key rotation pieces for the New York Mets, and as we go into the near future. This is a guy that has been outstanding as he makes his way up through minor league baseball. That includes last year, the majority of the time with Binghamton, back up here with Syracuse for the second time. Just 1 pitch away from getting out of that jam in the first inning, and he's got a lot of confidence. You see it with the challenge in the first, and then how about 2 for 2 for Jonah Tong with challenges today, getting that strikeout swinging.
1-0 pitch, chopped to third. It gets by Clough and rolls into left field. Burt taking off for second. The throw is late. Head first slide, and he's in safely. We'll see if this is ruled an error. It went off the glove of Jackson Clough at third base. Hard hit ball. But, you know, Brendan makes a great point in that Tong really thrives off of his attitude and his confidence. And a 3-run first inning is something he can overcome.
Yeah, he says he has 2 different personas. There's Jonah Tong, who's the bubbly, smiley figure off the field, and then JT, who's on the mound. And we're seeing tough JT right now on the bump.
First pitch to Burt. Misses outside, 1-0. Hopefully it doesn't end up like J.J. McCarthy's 2 personas, the J.J. and 9 when he's playing quarterback.
Yeah, at least Jonah's not calling himself 21.
Jonah has he's put forth the effort that shows he's backing it up. He's walking the walk.
I think Tigers fans. Actually, I don't know if they like that we're ripping J.J. McCarthy. He won a national championship
True,
at Michigan.
Now
Now he's a Viking, so I don't know how you guys feel
maybe
about him now.
Maybe they're Lions fans too, though.
Yeah.
Torn. 2 balls, no strikes to Burt. He takes a breaking ball in for a called strike. Or rather, Wenceel Perez. Burt reached on the fielding error. So it does go down as an E5 against Clough. 2 balls and a strike to Wenceel Perez, who was the first out of the game. Tong kicks and throws. High fly ball deep to right field. Melendez going back to the warning track up against the wall, and it is out of here. 2-run shot for Wensil Perez makes it a 5-0 Toledo lead in just the second inning.
He hit the ball high enough in the air for it to carry over the wall. Melendez gave it a look over on the warning track, but it might have just been passive because Perez got a hold of this one. 112 miles per hour on the bat, 364 feet to blow this game open.
Base is clear for Max Clark, who shoots one up the middle. Mauricio knocks it down, tries to make the throw, and it's way late, pulling Arroyo off the bag. Defense has been a little spotty, still not an easy play to make for Ronnie by any means, but Jonah not getting a ton of help from the defense behind him today.
Just hard-hit balls left and right from Toledo.
Yeah.
I think we should just give more credit to the Mud Hens offensively. They know the playbook right now on Jonah Tong, something that Worcester could not figure out back on opening day, and what minor league baseball really hasn't figured out against Tong.
Ruled an error against Ronnie Mauricio, so second error of the inning. That puts Clark at first. Tong throws over. Clark slides in. So Tong started this inning on the right foot. He struck out Malgiri. Burt got all the way to second on an error on Jackson Clough. Perez with the 2-run homer, and now Clark at first. Trey Cruz up to bat, and the pitch is chopped over towards first. Arroyo fields, throws to second for one. Throw back to first is not in time. Just a hair late. Well, Tong did a great job of covering first base. He showed the baseball, the first base umpire, Felix Neon, like, hey, whoa, I got it. My foot was on the bag. What are you talking about?
That play was closer than it seemed to be when it came off the bat. Tong got over there in the nick of time. Trey Cruz has some speed to his game and just beat it out, but that was a great play by Syracuse in the field.
It was almost a really nice double play, but still a runner at first, 2 away. First pitch to Jace Young, up high, ball 1. So a tough one for Jonah Tong, who came into this game with 3 AAA starts and not a single run allowed. See how he can battle through this one. 1-0 misses high and inside. 2 balls, no strikes. It's certainly a skill to be able to keep going after a couple tough innings here and just keep the right attitude.
And fortunately for Jonah, he hasn't had to go through this very often in affiliated ball. Really,
yeah. It's
only most of his appearances up with the New York Mets.
2-0 pitch, and Young takes a called strike. Fastball at 92 over the inner third of the plate. I think a couple things at hand here, rain delay, cold weather, windy, just one of those classic weird April games. Young with an open stance from the left side. Bent at the knees, and the 2-1 pitch is fouled back. 2-2.
Yeah, he mentioned to us before the season that his fastball was in the mid to high 90s down in Florida. He's like, it probably won't translate up here for a while until the sun's more prevalent.
No, but A.J. Sager, who you talked to before the game, also made a great point about the weather, saying, well, this is how it's going to be in Queens, and both teams have to deal with it. 2-2 pitch fouled off first base side.
Yeah, only if you're pitching against the Marlins do you really not have to complain. You have to go through this at every part of the season, and most of America's feeling it right now.
Yeah, find me a dome in AAA. I think they're all outside, to my knowledge.
Could you imagine, though?
A AAA to
if we went
the NBT Bank Dome?
We could go across the highway right now. Go and play in the JMA.
I did play wiffle ball in the Dome back in the day.
What?
Yeah. Wiffle ball champion over here, pal.
Please tell me more.
Well, you rallied up a few of the buddies. Freshman year, intramural wiffle ball.
Wow.
Got the title. Rob Schnorr on the bump. Just
Shout out, Rob.
He was nasty. And I hit a homer in the championship game. 2-2, fouled off again. Same spot. Not a big deal.
So where does that rank in terms of Dome moments?
Oh, I thought you were going to ask in terms of my athletic accomplishments. That would just be 1.
It can still be 1.
Yeah.
Like Pearl's half-court shots, 2.
Yeah. It's up there. It's up there. The history books. All right, 2 balls, 2 strikes to Jace Young. Tong throws, missing inside. Fastball up to 96 that time, but it's a full count.
And Jack, he is already up to 50 pitches now, so we'll keep an eye on what's going on for Tong in the rest of the start.
It was cool to see the staff kind of unleash Jack Wenninger yesterday, throw about 85 pitches. Time called by Young. He steps out of the box and waggles the bat back and forth.
And in Tong's first start, he threw 73 pitches, 42 of them for strikes.
I think it's important to battle on a day like this. Full count, 2 down, runner at first, 5-0 Toledo in the top of the second inning. Pitch fouled back. We'll do it again. Just an uncharacteristic start out of Tong. Hadn't allowed a run in AAA. Never allowed more than 3 runs in AA either in 20 starts. Payoff pitch again. Up high, ball 4. Change up off the mark, so there's runners at first and second now. Still 2 outs in the top of the second inning.
Well, that pitch was the changeup, and it's a pitch that he's been working on really ever since the season ended a year ago. Tong's trying to develop a secondary pitch that can carry him up to the big leagues, and the changeup is one of those high priorities.
Here's Eduardo Valencia, who he struck out back in the first after the mound visit with A.J. Sager. First pitch is low.
Last year, he got a whiff rate on the changeup at 51%, which was his best whiff rate.
That's a nasty pitch. Helps him get a lot of right-handers out. The 1-0 misses high. And lefties, you know, he does a great job with the curveball, the both. It'll be interesting to see him just continue to develop his arsenal at this level. Behind home plate, Hayden Sanger gives it a look, and it is into the stands. Three balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Runners at first and second. 5-run lead for the Mud Hens. Next pitch fouled back, and it loads the count full. The first game in this series went Toledo's way. It was a rain-shortened 7-inning game, 5-1 Hens win. Yesterday, 4-2 victory. It was all tied up at 2 until the Mets tacked on a couple of runs in the bottom of the 8th, take the lead, and close it out. Today's kind of been similar to Tuesday, where the Mets gave up 5 runs in the first and then were really solid from there. Tong steps off the mound and looks at Cruz at second.
And back on opening weekend, Syracuse scored first in each of the 3 games against the Woo Sox, so this has been a little rare for Syracuse to trail early.
Full count, 2 down. 3-2 pitch. Fouled back. Tong gave him a 94-mile-an-hour fastball that time.
Toledo's just fighting right now. They're trying to piece up anything that's coming out of Jonah Tong's right hand.
No easy at-bats. 58 total pitches so far. Tong tucks the ball in his mitt. Brown glove right above the belt. Now he kicks and fires. Fouled off yet again. That was the 7th pitch of the at-bat. See if number 8 can decide it. Eduardo Valencia signed with the Tigers as an international free agent back in 2018. Somewhat slow development for him over the years, and he really popped last season. 3-2 pitch again. This one's lifted into left center field, straight into the gap. It's down all the way to the warning track. Cruz scores easily. Young gets the wave home. Valencia's into second with a 2-run double. It's 7-0 Mud Hens in the top of the second inning. But Jonah Tong has just been off the mark today. That was a cutter right down the middle, and he smacked it at 106 miles an hour.
And as you talked about, Jack, just a really long at-bat from Eduardo Valencia. Jonah couldn't get anything going with the off-speed stuff to put him away, so revs up the miles per hour a little bit, and Valencia was ready for it.
Well, Dick Scott goes out to the pitcher's mound, and this is going to be it for Jonah Tong. A rare, tough start for the 22-year-old from Canada. We'll see who Dick opts to put into the game with 2 outs in the top. Well, Jolks opened up the scoring in the first inning with a 3-run double, when Seal Perez added 2 more earlier this frame with a 2-run homer, and Eduardo Valencia's 2-run double stretched the lead to 7. 1-0. Outside ball 2. Dan Hammer, the 28-year-old righty from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, going toe-to-toe with Jolks here. Batting .333 to start the season. 2-0 pitch, and Jolks takes the ball outside. I don't know if I've seen a better name for a pitcher than Dan Hammer.
It's tough. It's got like a left guard vibe to it.
That's a good one. Yeah, it does.
You're not going to mess around with a guy named Dan Hammer.
I like it out of the bullpen, too. Here comes the hammer. 3-0 pitch. Called strike with a fastball at 94.
Well, he is trying to nail this down, so.
I feel it could be the name of like, if you made a Major League, Major League 3? There's 1 and 2, right?
Yeah.
If you made a Major League 3 in 2026. Oh, yeah, Dan Hammer's on the bump. 3-1 wave and a miss at a cutter, a nasty one to load the count full. Well, Dan signed a minor league deal with the Mets in early March, pitching in his second game of the season. Finished the 4th inning after Yoander Suarez's start on Saturday against Worcester. Faced 3 batters and got a couple outs. 3-2 pitch, and he gets a called strike 3 with a 96-mile-an-hour fastball. Well, Dan drops the hammer to 3-0 the count to the lefty Clifford, with the wind whipping out towards left field. The pitch. Clifford takes a called strike. Had the red light there with a 87-mile-per-hour fastball. Clifford 1 for 4 last night. 4 of 19 to start the season. 3-1 pitch. And Clifford twists it foul, third base side over the dugout.
Clifford had a relatively good opening series against Worcester. The only negative was that he struck out 7 times. But he went 3 for 12 with an RBI, a walk, stolen base. It was a .250 average.
It might have been a little bit of a slow start. You feel like his general discipline at the plate will help him in the long term. 3-2, fouled off, same spot.
And that's what he talked about at spring training. The patience versus just swinging at everything and trying to get on base that way. He's trying to have a more reserved approach to the plate and have compact swings that matter.
3-2 pitch. Clifford pops it foul, same exact spot, and we'll do it again.
But even just that swing, it's very relaxed, it's short, it's to the point. He moves the hands very rapidly through the zone. It's a nice-looking swing for Ryan Clifford.
Been impressed by his defense in the outfield. Had a great diving catch in right yesterday. 3-2. And Clifford lofts it into left center field, tailing away from the center fielder Clark, and it gets by him. It rolls to the wall. Clifford is going to stop at second with a leadoff double.
Went down and threw his hands at a pitch below the zone. Got the barrel to it. Almost an excellent job by Max Clark. He nearly got there to make the catch, but because he went all the way to the baseball, he couldn't corral it, and that's an extra base hit.
Clifford safe at second. You can stay safe in life, too, with regular screenings from St. Joseph's Cancer Care. Runner at second for Christian Arroyo. First pitch. Arroyo takes a curveball low and in. 1-0. Arroyo with a great start to the season, 4 RBIs, 2 of which came yesterday in the 4-2 win. Had both RBIs to start the game and make it 2-0. 1-0 pitch. Arroyo takes a ball outside, a cutter.